Hello friends, welcome to my channel VLSI Interview Guide. Today we are going to see Introduction to I2C or IIC. So I2C introduction. So full form of I2C is Inter-Integrated Circuit. It's an half duplex communication protocol. So half duplex means there is one single wire for transmission and receiving. So we can send or receive data at one time, means we cannot send or receive data simultaneously. There is only one line for sending and receiving purpose. So it's a serial communication protocol. It consists two wires, SCL and SDA, means data line and clock line, to synchronize the transmitted bits. It's an synchronous communication protocol, means there is a clock used to synchronize the transmitted and received bit. I2C support multi-master multi-slave configuration, means here we can use multi-master multi-slave configuration. It's used for short distance because if we uh, if we have to use it for long distance, there will be some glitches in clock line and there will be a error in data transmission, and the cost of uh, data cables will be increased so that we can use it for short distance. Uh, it's used to connect low speed devices like microcontroller, uh, EEPROM, or analog to digital converters and digital to analog converters like things. This is the block diagram of I2C or IIC. There are two lines specially. One is for data and another one is for clock to synchronize the transmitted and received bits. Here we can see one master 1 and here master 2 at the bottom. So, and there are two slaves, and these two resistors are used to pull up the SDA and SCL lines by VDD. So actually these two lines are pull up. So when one master uses data line to send the data to slave, so it will pull down that line, and unless it is transferring data, after the transmission is complete, it will give line to pull up, means VDD. This way master 2 knows that master 1 has finished its operation and master 2 can use that serial data lines. So we can further, this is the I2C frame structure. Before going to frame structure, we will see the speed of transmission of I2C. So the initial I2C specifications define the maximum clock frequency of 100 kHz. This was later increased to 400 kHz in fast mode I2C. So there is also a high speed mode which can go up to 3.4 megahertz, and there is also a ultra fast mode which can goes up to a 5 megahertz. So the maximum transmission speed we can achieve through I2C is 5 megahertz using ultra fast mode I2C frame. So this frame structure of I2C, how will it detect the start bit when clock is high and data is transfer from high to low, then I2C frame consider it as a start bit. After start bit, there will be an address of 7 bit to 10 bit. The address of I2C frame is 8 bit to 10 bit. So here in image we can see the address of slave is 8 bit from A0 to A6. Here it uses 7 bit to address of to store the address of slave through which we can send or receive the data. So we can connect almost 2 raised to 7 number of slaves, means 128 number of slaves we can connect to this master, and the last bit is read or write. If this bit is 0, then master write the data to slave, and if this bit is 1, then slave write the data to master. And the last bit is acknowledgement. It's for checking whether we have sent correct data or not. After that, one clock is empty, and that after that there will be a data frame of 8 bits from D0 to D7, and after every data frame there is one acknowledgement bit to check whether we have sent correct data or not. Suppose if read or write bit is 1 in this case, then data will be transferred from slave to master. In that case, the acknowledgement sent from master to slave, which is opposite to the data flow. Same after that, there will also it can continue to send data after acknowledgement of this, and after the 8 bits of next 8 bits, it will again send acknowledgement, which is the opposite of data flow. Similarly, we can see there is one arbitration happening in the I2C. So we can see what is meant by arbitration. When master 1 and master 2 can try to access the information from same slave, which is slave 2, then at the same time, then only one master can access the slave, which is depend on the arbitration. Means at the same time, two master cannot access same slave. This is defined by the arbitration. So until suppose master 1 first get access of slave 2, and then master 2 also want the data from slave 2, then it can't uh, it can't give access to master 2, because until master 1 finishes its data transfer, master 2 can't allow to share the data with slave 2. If master 1 finishes data, then and then only master 2 can connect to slave 2 and send or receive data from that line. And its arbitration, which is depend on the SCL line, means it's happen on the master line until second master can't send or receive. So next thing is clock stretching. So when will be clock stretching is will occur? Suppose there is one master and another one is slave. If our slave take time to store the data whatever we receive, then there is a need of clock stretching. Means we need to slow down the clock to get the time to slave to store its data with safety. Means with safe, or uh, at the time of sending data, if master need to encode the data and generate one acknowledgement, for that it takes some time, so that master can also uh, request to slow down the clock. Generally, uh, I2C devices can slow down communication. Means stretching will slow down the communication between master and slave, and it's also called as clock synchronization between master and slave. Means it will synchronize whether slave will slow, then master will synchronize with slave at the by the lowering the clock, and clock stretching is always initiated by the slave. So advantages of I2C is it's an multi-stage, multi-master, multi-slave protocol. It provides error detection with acknowledgement bit after the data transmission, which is in direction of opposite to the data transfer. It's also cost effective. It's also uh, cost effective, and size will be less as compared to the parallel communication. As we know, in parallel communication there will be multiple number of wires is required, so that cost will be higher. And in series communication there will be only two wires, one is for data and another one is for clock. That also saves our size, and number of pins also reduce. And the disadvantage of I2C is it's an half duplex protocol, means we cannot send or receive data simultaneously. We can get less speed as compared to parallel communication, obvious. If it's an also has uh, less speed as compared to parallel communication. So circuit complexity and power consumption is obviously high in case of I2C. So thank you friends.